Welcome to Revolutionary Gazette. I'm Will. Today we're going to continue our exploration of how to properly perform the Manual of Exercise as ordered by His Majesty in 1764. Today we're going to finish what would be the Manual of Arms section. Now, we're going to talk about specific parts of the musket as we go through this. If you haven't already seen our video on the nomenclature of the musket, we really recommend you do. Today we want to say thanks to Fort Loudon, Pennsylvania for the ability to use this wooden stockade fort as a great background for the 18th century drill. Whether you're drilling as an American or whether you're drilling as British like my friends from the 17th Infantry, this is the building block. Throughout the war, these drills will change a bit, but let's learn the base and go from there. Today, we're going to work on the rest of the Manual of Arms.
Rest your firelock.
There are 3 motions in this maneuver. First, seize the weapon with your right hand at the small of the stock and turn it so the lock is facing out.
1, 2.
Now, quickly move the firelock from your left shoulder to in front of you. As you do this, move your left hand from the butt to just above the lock. End this motion with your left hand at the height of your eyes.
1, 2.
In the last motion, step back with your right foot. The manual says place it a hand's breadth distance from your left heel. At the same time, bring the firelock down in front of your left knee. Lower it as much as you can without straining your right arm. Remember, we are moving the weapon around your position of a soldier. Do not destroy your posture. Do what your body allows. End with your left hand holding the stock with the side of your pinky touching the feather spring. Your right finger will be extended under the guard. Finally, keep the piece as straight up and down as you can and close to your body. Done wrong, the weapon will feel a lot heavier when you have to stay there for any length of time.
Order your firelock.
There are 3 motions. First, move the musket across your body. Keep it straight up and down as you do this.
1, 2.
Now, as you release the weapon with your right hand, lower it with your left. As you lower it, raise your right hand to the muzzle. Keep the piece close to your right side while you do all of this.
1, 2.
Bring your right foot back up to the position of a soldier next to your left. Place the butt of the weapon on the ground and make sure it is even with the toe of your right foot. Hold the piece with your right thumb lying along the barrel and keep the muzzle a little distance from your body. Return your left hand to your side.
Ground your firelock.
There are 4 motions to place your firelock on the ground. First, face to the right on your heels as you turn your firelock so the lock faces to the rear, and with the flat of the butt against the inside of your right foot.
1, 2.
Step forward with your left foot as far as the swell of the stock. Lay the weapon on the ground. Make sure your right foot and butt of weapon touch. Let your left hand hang down by your left foot.
1, 2.
Stand up and bring your left foot back to its former position. Stay faced to the right as at the end of the first motion.
1, 2.
Face to the front on your heels. Let both hands hang by your sides and keep them still.
Take up your firelock.
There are 4 motions here. First, face to the right on both heels. Your right foot should end up behind the butt of your firelock.
1, 2.
Now, step forward with your left foot as far as the swell of the stock. Grasp the weapon with your right hand.
1, 2.
Stand up with your firelock.
1, 2.
Turn on both heels to the front and turn your weapon so the ramrod again faces the front. Move your right hand to the proper position at order arms. To review, hold the right piece with your thumb lying along the barrel and keep the muzzle a little distant from your body.
Rest your firelock.
There are 3 motions here. First, slip your right hand down to the swell of the stock, or as far as you can without deranging your posture.
1, 2.
Next, raise the weapon straight up with your right hand. As you do this, seize it with the left hand above the spring, and with a cock at the height of your waist belt. If you are wearing a waist belt in the later cross-chest style, and with a cock about even with the top of your hip bone.
1, 2.
Finally, step back with your right foot and place it behind your left heel. As you do this, bring the firelock across your body to the rest position.
Shoulder your firelock.
In the first motion, move your right foot back next to the left in the position of a soldier under arms. At the same time, twist the weapon counterclockwise as you move it to your left shoulder. Release the piece with your left hand and move it to the butt, placing the thumb and forefinger in front of the swell of the butt in the position of shoulder arms.
1, 2.
Drop your right hand by your side.
Secure your firelock.
There are 3 motions here. First, seize the firelock with your right hand at the small of the stock just below the cock.
1, 2.
Next, release the butt with your left hand and seize the swell of the stock. Keep your left arm close as you do this. Your right hand and weapon do not move here.
1, 2.
Finally, release the piece with your right hand and rotate it forward and lower it to the secure position. This is where the barrel points down and your left hand is in line with your waist belt. Again, this is the 18th century understanding of your waist, or about where the top of your hip bone is.
Shoulder your firelock.
To return to the shoulder, there are 3 motions. First, rotate the firelock until it is pointing straight up. As it arrives there, seize it with your right hand under the cock.
1, 2.
Release your left hand from the swell of the stock and move it to the grip of shoulder arms around the swell of the butt.
1, 2.
Drop your right hand by your side.
Fix your bayonet.
There are 3 motions here. Fortunately, you just learned the first 2. The first 2 motions are exactly the same as for secure your firelocks. First, seize the firelock with your right hand at the small of the stock just below the cock.
1, 2.
Next, release the butt with your left hand and seize the swell of the stock. Keep your left arm close as you do this.
1, 2.
For the third motion, release the firelock with your right hand. Lower it with your left hand to your side as far as you can without constraint or deranging your posture. At the same time, move your right hand to grasp the bayonet in its scabbard. Draw and fix the bayonet on the muzzle, and with your right hand touching the stock just below the brass nose cap at the end of the stock. Keep the piece close to the hollow of your shoulder.
Shoulder your firelock.
There are 3 motions here. First, let go with your right hand as you raise the piece straight up with your left. As your left hand places the musket next to your head, use your right hand to grasp just under the cock. This is the end of the second position of going to fix or secure.
1, 2.
Let go with your left hand and place it in the position of shoulder arms.
1, 2.
Drop your right hand by your side.
Present your arms.
The great news here is we have already done this. Present your arms is the same as rest your firelocks, just with the bayonet attached. There are 3 motions. First, seize the weapon with your right hand at the small of the stock and turn it so the lock is facing out.
1, 2.
Now, quickly move the firelock from your left shoulder to in front of you. As you do this, move your left hand from the butt to just above the lock. End this motion with your left hand at the height of your eyes.
1, 2.
In the last motion, step back with your right foot. At the same time, bring the firelock down in front of your left knee. Lower it as much as you can without deranging your posture.
To the right. Face.
There are 3 motions in making any facing. First, raise the piece quickly until your left hand is even with your eyes. Keep your left fingers extended along the stock just above the feather spring. As you do this, bring your right foot up so it is close behind your left heel.
1, 2.
Now, face to the right on your heels. As you do this, hold your weapon steady and straight up and down.
1, 2.
Finally, step back with your right foot as you bring the firelock down to the present position. The manual shows performing this twice in a row. Let's watch the second time as a review here.
To the right. Face.
1, 2. 1, 2.
To the right about. Face.
This is done just like to the right face, except you turn completely around. In the first motion, raise the piece quickly until your left hand is even with your eyes. Keep your left fingers extended along the stock and just above the feather spring. As you do this, bring your right foot up so it is close to your left heel.
1, 2.
Now, face completely about to the right on your heels. As you do this, hold your weapon steady and up and down.
1, 2.
Finally, step back with your right foot as you bring the weapon into the present position.
To the left. face.
There are 3 motions. As in to the right face, raise your firelock so your left hand is even with your eyes. However, move your right foot so it is in the hollow of your left.
1, 2,
Now, face to the left. Again, turn on both heels.
1, 2,
Finally, lower your firelock back to present. The manual teaches 2 left facings as well, so let's watch this again.
To the left, face.
1, 2, 1, 2,
To the left about, face.
This is done just like to the left face, except you turn completely around. In the first motion, raise the piece quickly until your left hand is even with your eyes. As you do this, bring your right foot up so the heel is in the hollow of the left foot.
1, 2,
Face about to the left on your heels. As you do this, hold your weapon steady.
1, 2,
Finish by lowering your weapon back down to the present.
Shoulder your firelock.
We have seen this before. Move your right foot back next to the left in the position of the soldier under arms. At the same time, twist the weapon counterclockwise as you move it to your left shoulder, your right hand doing most of the work. Release the piece with your left hand and move it to the butt, placing your thumb and forefinger in front of the swell of the butt in the position of shoulder arms.
1, 2,
Drop your right hand by your side.
Charge your bayonet.
There are 2 motions here. First, seize the firelock with your right hand and turn the lock outwards, keeping the firelock perpendicular.
1, 2,
Now, quickly lower the weapon so the bayonet points forward. End up holding it at the swell with your left hand and the small of the stock with your right. As you lower the weapon, turn to the right on both heels. End with the weapon level with the ground and the barrel up.
Shoulder your firelock.
There are 2 motions. Raise your firelock to your shoulder and lower your left hand to its position on the butt. Turn your feet to the front as you do this.
1, 2,
Drop your right hand by your side.
Advance your arms.
There are 4 motions. First, seize the firelock with your right hand and turn the lock outwards, keeping the firelock perpendicular.
1, 2,
Finish this up by bringing the firelock from the shoulder quickly. Seize it with the left hand just above the lock, making sure the little finger rests on the spring and the thumb on the stock. It must not be held too far from the body. Make sure your hand is at an equal height with your eyes.
1, 2,
Transfer the firelock to your right side using your right hand. Let it rest as low as you can without deranging your posture. Hold the guard between your right thumb and forefinger. Keep the last 3 fingers under the cock.
1, 2,
Finally, drop your left hand by your side.
Shoulder your firelock.
There are 4 motions. First, reach across your body and grasp the firelock at the swell with your left hand.
1, 2,
Next, raise the piece to the poise. As you do this, move your right hand to the small of the stock and slide your left hand down so it's near the spring.
1, 2,
Now, move the musket to your left shoulder primarily with the right hand. Slip your left hand down to the position of shoulder arms as you do.
1, 2.
Drop your right hand by your side.
Well, thanks to the gentleman from the 17th Infantry, we've got a good review of how to move forward with the Manual of Arms and the Manual 1764. Hope you've enjoyed this look at the British drill manual used also by the Americans, and this gives you another small connection to the American Revolution and a better chance to interpret it. We'll see you next time.